Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Satterwhite with the NC Medicaid EHR Incentive Program, here to discuss Modified Stage 2 and Stage 3 Meaningful Use, or MU, in Program Year 2017. Program Year 2017 gives providers the option to attest to Modified Stage 2 or Stage 3 MU. So we're going to discuss some of the changes in Modified Stage 2 since last year and how Stage 3 differs from Modified Stage 2. Before diving into the objectives themselves, let's cover a few basics. All providers may use a 90-day MU reporting period in Program Year 2017. This means, at a minimum, all providers will report MU data from a consecutive 90-day period in calendar year 2017. And what will you be using to capture your data? If you're attesting to Modified Stage 2, you may use a 2014, 2015 combination, or a 2015 edition of Certified EHR Technology, or CERT. Currently, CMS has said that if attesting to Stage 3, you must use a 2015 edition of CERT, but you may possibly be able to use a 2014-2015 combination CERT if that CERT doesn't prohibit you from meeting the Stage 3 measures. There are no alternate exclusions or measures in Program Year 2017. And the CQMs have been updated slightly. You can visit CMS's EHR Incentive Program website and click on the eCQM Library tab to get to the 2017 CQMs. Just a quick note, when you get to the eCQI Resource Center, make sure that you're selecting 2017 plus Addendum on the Performance Reporting Year drop-down menu. That way you're looking at the specs for the 2017 CQMs. Alternatively, you can go on our website and there's a hyperlink to direct you to the CQMs under the MU tab. Providers attesting to Modified Stage 2 are required to report on 10 MU objectives and 6 CQMs. Meanwhile, providers attesting to Stage 3 are required to report on 8 MU objectives and 6 CQMs. And rather than reading the changes in each objective, measure, or exclusion, I'm going to stay on the screen just a little bit longer than I normally do, and please feel free to pause the video to review the language as needed. Of course, you can find everything presented here on CMS's website and specifically on CMS's specification sheets. I'll show you where you can access those after I cover the objectives. So, let's get started. Protect electronic health information. There are no changes to Modified Stage 2, but Stage 3 does alter the objective a little bit. You can see the additions here in blue. E-prescribing. Again, no change in Modified Stage 2, but Stage 3 increases the measure threshold from more than 50% to more than 60%. Clinical decision support. There is nothing to report for this objective. It remains the same. CPOE. No change in Modified Stage 2. Stage 3 is different from Modified Stage 2 in that the objective reads a little differently, the thresholds increase for measures 2 and 3, and there are changes to measure 3. Let's take a look at those. The changes are highlighted in blue. I would like to point out that measure 3 is no longer radiology orders, but diagnostic imaging. Patient electronic access. In Modified Stage 2, measures 1 and 2's wording have been changed, and the threshold for measure 2 has been increased. Stage 3 increases the threshold, added a second piece to measure 1, incorporated patient-specific education resources into a new measure 2, and added an exclusion. Let's look at Modified Stage 2 changes first. Here are the changes to measure 1 and 2 in Modified Stage 2, and again, the changes are in blue. And here's what's different in Stage 3. In blue, you can see the updates made to measure 1. It incorporates the former patient-specific education resources objective, and there's also an added exclusion criteria. Again, I'm moving through these screens more quickly for time, so be sure to pause and review the language if you'd like to review the language. patient-specific education resources. Nothing's changed in Modified Stage 2, and as aforementioned, Stage 3 incorporated this into Objective 5, Patient Electronic Access, Measure 2, so it's no longer a separate measure. Secure electronic messaging. The measure has been changed in Modified Stage 2. The new measure is here in blue. And in Stage 3, this objective has been incorporated into a new objective, coordination of care through patient engagement. This is Stage 3's Objective 6, coordination of care through patient engagement. It is new, so take a moment to review the new objectives and measures. Quick note, while you need to attest to all 3 measures, CMS only requires you meet the thresholds for 2 measures. And since it couldn't fit on the same slide, here are the exclusions for Objective 6. Summary of care / health information exchange. Modified Stage 2 changes the measure's wording, and again, the changes can be seen in blue. Stage 3 revised the objective's wording, increased Measure 1's threshold, added 2 new measures, and 1 exclusion criteria. So here's the new Stage 3 objective, and the changes are in blue. Also in blue, you can see the changes made to Measure 1 and the 2 new measures, 2 and 3. Measure 3 incorporates the former medication reconciliation objective. And of course, here are the new exclusions. Okay, medication reconciliation. No changes in Modified Stage 2. In Stage 3, this has actually been incorporated into Measure 3 of Objective 7's Summary of Care / Health Information Exchange. So what we just saw. Finally, public health reporting. Nothing's changed since last year to Modified Stage 2. Stage 3 has made some changes. So it's altered the objective's wording, changed Measure 1 and 2's wording, removed the separate specialized registry measure, but added a public health registry reporting and clinical data registry reporting measure. 2 separate measures, but they added those 2 separate measures. So here are the changes to the objective and measures 1 and 2. Again, the changes are in blue. And here are the 2 new measures, measures 3 and 4, public health registry reporting and clinical data registry reporting. Just a quick note, on CMS's spec sheet, you may see a 5th public health reporting option, electronic case reporting, but that doesn't go into effect until program year 2018, so you can ignore that for 2017. And here are the new exclusions for measures 3 and 4. Again, you can pause and review this language in more detail. But there you have it. We went through these pretty quickly and just quickly pointed out the differences from last year and what to expect for Stage 3. But if you want to review the objectives in their entirety, which we suggest you do before you attest, you can find these objectives and measures on CMS's EHR Incentive Program website, and look for the Program Year 2017 Requirements hyperlink on the left side of the page, circled here, and navigate to Modified Stage 2 or Stage 3 requirements. Alternatively, you can go to our program website and the spec sheets can be found on the MU tab. You can also go to the MU tab on our program website to access the 2017 CQMs directly. Thanks for tuning into this webinar, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Our email is ncmedicaid.hit@dhhs.nc.gov.